All right, let's talk about the SAT. Specifically, let's talk about how to turn those questions that make your brain freeze from a liability into a secret weapon. This is all about the science of the smart guess. You know that feeling, right? You're staring at a question, the clock is just ticking away, and nothing. Your mind is a total blank. It's that moment of pure panic. But what if I told you that exact moment is where you can actually start gaining an edge? So here it is, the single most important mental flip you need to make. The modern SAT has zero penalty for wrong answers. That means a tough question is no longer a threat to your score. It's an opportunity. Every single guess is a free shot at another point. Okay, so how do we actually turn that opportunity into points on the board? Well, it all kicks off with one simple foundational principle. This is your most powerful play in the entire game. So what's the number one rule of smart guessing? It's simple. Never, ever guess blindly. Your first move is always elimination. Before you even think about finding the right answer, your only mission is to hunt down and get rid of the choices you know are definitely, absolutely wrong.
Let's just look at the raw math for a second. If you take a wild stab in the dark out of 4 options, you've got a 1 in 4 shot. That's a 25% chance of being right. Not exactly great odds, you know?
But watch what happens when you just eliminate 2 obviously wrong answers. Bam! Your odds instantly double. You are now looking at a 50-50 coin flip. And that is how you turn a moment of panic into a powerful strategic move. All right, now that we've got the golden rule locked in, let's start building out your actual toolkit with some specific plays you can run on every single section of the test. Believe it or not, the SAT has tells, kind of like a bad poker player. First, be super wary of extreme words like always or never. Why? Because they're incredibly hard to prove. Just one exception makes them false, so test makers almost never use them in correct answers. Also learn to love the boring neutral choice. The right answer just has to be correct. It doesn't need to be profound. Test makers love using flashy but flawed options as traps. Now for the math section, you have some serious secret weapons. If you see a variable like x and you freeze up, don't. Just turn that abstract algebra into simple arithmetic by plugging in an easy number like 2 or 3. Or even better, work backward. Start with the answer choices and plug them into the problem. It's often so much faster than solving it the right way. And finally, always do a quick common sense check. If you're solving for the length of a bridge, can the answer be negative? Of course not. Eliminate it. For reading and writing, it really comes down to context and precision. Just ask yourself, does this answer actually fit the tone and logic of the rest of the sentence? If it feels weird or out of place, it probably is. And here's a pro tip. When you are stuck, the shortest answer is very often the right one. The SAT is all about effective communication, and that means being concise, not using extra fluffy words. So, you've got the tools now, but the real art is knowing when to use them. This is where we get into the big picture strategy of managing your time and, just as importantly, your own mind during the test. You have to burn this phrase into your brain. Your goal is not to solve every question perfectly. It's not about pride. Your goal is to get the most points possible in the time you're given. It is always, always better to make an educated guess and move on than to waste 3 precious minutes on one impossible question. And let's be crystal clear about something. We are not talking about wild, random, close your eyes and point guessing. An educated guess is a logical process. It's you using elimination, using pattern recognition,
It's a strategic decision, not a desperate one.
And this brings us to what might just be the single biggest benefit of all of this. Because having a solid guessing strategy isn't just about points, it's about psychology. It's a huge mental edge.
See, when you know you have a plan for the hard questions, that feeling of panic just disappears. Your pacing gets better because you don't get stuck in quicksand. And you break free from that toxic, impossible mindset that you have to know everything. You don't. You just have to know how to play the game.
This really gets to the core of it. The SAT isn't just a test of what you've memorized. It's a test of how you think and act under pressure. A smart strategy can be every bit as valuable as knowing a specific formula.
So what's the actual payoff? It's huge. If you apply these principles, up to half of the questions you initially get stuck on can become points in your score column. And those are points you earned with strategy, not just memorization.
So let's boil this all down to one final checklist. For any question that stumps you, here's your 4-step process. 1. Eliminate what's obviously wrong. 2. Check the context for clues. 3. Look for those patterns we talked about. And 4. Only then do you pick the best of what's left.
Ultimately, that's what this is. The SAT is a game. It's a solvable puzzle with a very clear set of rules. And now you have the strategies to stop being played by it and start playing it a whole lot smarter.